let you down. The man of the world go let you down, but Jesus never fail. I dey wonder, where Jesus dey work a wonder. I dey wonder, where Jesus dey work a wonder. I sleep now, night, wake now, morning. I dey wonder where Jesus dey work a wonder. I dey wonder, where Jesus dey work a wonder. I dey wonder, where Jesus dey work a wonder. Oh, go now, Tita, Kana, host. I dey wonder where Jesus dey work a wonder. I dey wonder, where Jesus dey work a wonder. I dey wonder, where Jesus dey work a wonder. I go now, church, Kana, host. I dey wonder where Jesus dey work a wonder. I dey wonder, where Jesus dey work a wonder. I dey wonder, where Jesus dey work a wonder. I dey wonder.
And my task right now is to introduce the patrons and the Grand Chief patrons. So I'm going to start with the distinguished Grand Chief Patron, Mr. Henry Olufemi-Chan. If you're here, please rise. Another distinguished person here tonight is our sister, Mrs. Glenna Parkinson, well known in this community. Give her a round of applause, please. Thank you. Next, we have Dr. Aruna R. Davis. Mr. Davis, Dr. Davis, is being accompanied by his beautiful wife. Welcome, Mrs. Davis.
Thank you.
Next, a well-known person in the Sierra Leonean community in Houston. He is no stranger to things like high tables. Mr. Idrissa is coming. Unfortunately, his lovely wife is not here with us right now. She might be joining us later. I'm not sure, but welcome. Engineer Julius Sawyer and his beautiful wife.
Yes.
There you go. Oh, yes.
this evening. This is feeling like a family dinner. Welcome once again to the 4th annual Mbhs Alumni Reunion.
I'm going to read the proclamation of the City of Houston. Greetings. As Mayor of Houston, I want to welcome all attending the Methodist Boys High School Mbhs reunion. As a city filled with diversity in its people, culture, music, and food, I am honored that you have selected Houston as your host city for such a worthwhile.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we welcome our MC, Miss Fatou Mansari.
I want to be your number one. I'm on my knees, I don't bow down. So baby, please, I want to walk. I'm up to sing and dance around. Once I'm in the head, Baba, you up and girl, take me to Babel. Make you go down and wait out for me, but I'm gonna take you to Babel. I'm telling you, very good. I'm telling you, we have time to enjoy my love without you. Money go down, mommy love can down. Love to explode like a rock time bomb.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the one and only Dwight Desmond Schultz, coming for a big intro.
All right. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. How are you doing tonight? Say it like you mean it. How are we doing tonight? Let me ask you a question. You don't tell your neighbor, say you there? You don't tell her? Ladies and gentlemen, we have some distinguished people up on that high table. So I'm going to ask them the question. Have you told us you are here? People of the high table. If you do not understand the language, those of you who understand will lead it. We want to see some enthusiasm from the high table. You lead, we follow. When I watch them good, make sure say that they smile. Have you told us you are here? Well, all right. That's very good because this is like a school teacher asking a question. So I'm not asking a question. Tell us you are here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as the high table rise and show you they are here. Mbhs's own pastor, Idris Mori. Please put your hands together for him.
Praise the Lord. Well, it's a privilege to be here, especially with the Methodist Boys High School, the association, and all of those that have come to celebrate with us. As the MC has said, yesterday it was wonderful. You're going to see part of my radiance today. So if you want to see me dancing, we're going to do it in the Methodist Boys High School way. We dance with some radiance, sometimes out of radiance. But I don't want to take the part of the MC. We're here to praise God. We're here to thank God for this wonderful moment that we are here. It's by His grace that we are here today. So shall we all rise and give God the time? Let's give Him time. Amen. Most precious and everlasting Father, we want to thank you this wonderful night. We thank you for this wonderful gathering, oh God, that your people have come, oh God, to celebrate of your goodness and of your mercies, oh God. We thank you, Jehovah God, for giving us the opportunity, oh God, to be a service unto mankind, especially those, oh God, that are less fortunate back home, oh God, in our old school, our alma mater. Father, Lord, we are here to say thank you. Eternal King of Glory, as we open this occasion, we ask, oh God, Lord, let your name be glorified. Let your sweet presence, oh God, be revealed in this meeting in the name of our Lord Jesus. We pray for those, oh God, that are on your way, oh God, into this gathering. We ask, oh God, that Lord, you order the footsteps in the name of our Lord Jesus. That Lord, as we are gathered here, you will see your presence. We will feel, oh God, the fresh oil of anointing, oh God. We will feel the touch from you, oh God, that Lord, even the food, oh God, that we partake of, oh Father God, we shall celebrate of your glory, oh Father God. We cover this venue, oh God, this celebration with the precious blood of the Lamb. We commit each and every one of us here, Father God. We ask, oh God, that Lord, the purpose, oh God, we are here today, oh God, Lord, let it be fulfilled in the name of our Lord Jesus. We give you all the glory, Jehovah God, for in Jesus' mighty name.
party. Then you want me to go over on the other side of the gully. Go to the well. Go all the way down to the bottom of the well. Get the water up of the bottom of the well. Bring it back across the gully. Cross Mr. McIntosh's property. And all the way back up the hill with the water here to your mouth. But listen, woman, let me tell you something. My man's tired, you know. I mean, I just cannot be running up and down. Running up. Yes, darling.
I want to make sure that you have this correct. So I'm going to tell it to you one time, and only one time. You listen? Okay. I want you to go down to the bottom of the hill, cross over Mr. McIntosh's property, cross over the gully, go to the well, go down to the well, you go out to the well, come across the gully, come across Mr. McIntosh's property, up the valley, here with the water. No, man.
Liza, me darling, I said, girl in the bucket, oh, Liza,
Well, let's fix it there, Henry. Henry, yeah, Henry, oh, fix it there, Henry, yeah, Henry, fix the bucket there.
tell me what shall I fix it? Liza, me darling, tell me what shall I fix the whole Liza, with what?
Why use a straw, Henry, Henry, use a straw, Henry, use a straw.
I say that the story is too long, oh, eh, Liza, me darling, I say the story is too long, eh, Liza, too long.
Well, let's cut it there, Henry. Henry, you go up, cut it there, Henry. Henry, want to cut up the straw off.
Tell me what shall I cut the straw? Something, darling, tell me what shall I cut the straw? Liza, with what?
Why you use an axe, Henry? Henry, use an axe. Henry, use an axe.
Liza,
Yes.
I would like to appeal to your sense of justice. No, wait a minute. Listen to me. Now you know, it's going to look kind of silly. For some great big old 6'3" man standing out there in the garden with an axe in his hand. I just a whipping on a little bit of straw. I can just hear all the neighbors now saying, look at what Henry, you know, I think the man gone crazy. Just standing there, chopping and chopping and yes, Liza.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
One day I'm going to put a Muhammad Ali right on top of his head. I say that the axe is too dull. Hey, Liza, me darling. I said the axe is too dull. Oh, Liza, too dull.
Well, let's cut it there, Henry. Henry, you go up, chop it. Henry, I want you to hold it.
You want me to what?
Hold it.
You want me to hold it? Lord, the woman going to night school again. Tell me, what shall I hold it? Hey, Liza, me darling, tell me, what shall I hold it? Oh, Liza, what?
Why you use a straw? Henry, you use a straw. Henry, use a straw.
I say that the story's too dry. Hey, Liza, darling, I said the stone is too dry.
What is there, Henry? Henry, you go on wet. Is there, Henry? Henry, with the stone. Now you gotta wet. I said, above me, no, that's a dead. You gotta wet the stone with the stone. Now you gotta wet.
To introduce our chairman for tonight. Give it up for him, please, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up.
Need someone to hug and hold me close. Monday morning, hard day working. Tuesday morning, the new day's ready.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege to introduce the determined, the very erudite. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the very erudite Mr. John.
Come on, you'll be dancing, everyone's romancing. Come on, baby, come on. You'll be dancing, everyone's romancing. Baby, feels so good to see ya. Did you bring your friends? Ladies.
Distinguished guests, fellow alumni, friends, supporters, I want to express my deepest appreciation for inviting me to be the chief patron of our annual fundraising dinner and dance. On such occasions, we take the opportunity to pay tribute to our beloved Methodist Boys High School and the significant role it has played and continues to play in the education and training of future leaders in all spheres of development in our country. Awareness, expectancy.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big hand. Thank you so much. We would like to also invite the president of the Methodist Boys High School Alumni, and he is going to give us an update on all the work the alumni is doing back home in Sierra Leone. Please join me in welcoming Emil Nylander, the president. Let's give him a big hand as he comes on.
Presidents, executive members, and members of the Texas branch, it is a pleasure and an honor for me to be speaking at your annual dance today. I'm supposed to give an update, but I think you bear with me. I'll go over what has been asked for by me. I want to first of all ask all of us to stand where we accept a few minutes of silence for the ones that have gone before us. Can we stand, please? If I should mention some of them, late Mrs. Dupini, Mr. Bodkin, Mr. Neville, Emerson Nylander, and all the others who have gone before us. And last, I just found that tonight, Mr. Timothy, Reverend Timothy. Can we just a minute of silence? Thank you very much. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Emil Nylander, admission number 4499. I challenge most of you alumni if you know your admission numbers. Anybody here? But I tell you something, if you don't know your admission number, talk to me, and the alumni in Freetown will charge $200 for you to know what it is. First of all, I'll go over what I've done as president since 2014.
For all the hard work these guys do, and the ladies as well, they put all the stuff together, they organize all these meetings and raise all these funds and do all what they do. So we need to recognize them by way of awards, and I would like to call on Mr. Wilfred Kwasiwood to do presentation.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, patrons, well-wishers all, I bring you warm greetings from the Methodist Boys High School Alumni Association, Washington Metropolitan Chapter, in my capacity as an ex-officio member, and also in my capacity as the Vice Chairman of the Methodist Boys High School Global Network Initiative. I thank you for all the support. And while I'm talking about that, let me just give kudos to all the presidents of the component entities of our alumni associations. I'm talking about Texas, Mr. David Cassandra and his executive. I'm talking about Washington, Mr. Clifton File and his executive. I'm talking about the UK branch, Mrs. Nanette Johnson-Reed and her executive. And I'm talking about the parent organization, Mr. Emil Nylander and his executive. We're working hard for our institution. Having given kudos to those people, just want to pull your attention back to the program and remind you that we're going to be recognizing a few people. And I say a few people because I mean a few people who have actually given of themselves. They've given of the sweat, of their hard work, of their savings, of their time to help the institution in Freetown. Some of us don't have our kids there anymore. But some of these kids are going to that school, and when we were going to that school, somebody helped us. So today, we are helping those kids. And the session, part of the program we're in today is just to recognize those people, and just as we call them to come receive their recognition, let's just aware these people have given countless amounts.
Mr. Franklin Hollis. Mr. Franklin Hollis.
and Mrs. Henry Bone John. Thank you for your total commitment and love for the MBHS. Your active engagement in the MBHS Alumni Network is remarkable. We are thrilled that you serve as our distinguished Grand Chief Patron.
I say you trade up in a trench town, and you trade up in a Jonestown. It's still trade up in a shanty town, and the whole world goes down.
I want to express my sincere thanks to the MBHS Alumni Association, and on behalf of my wife, I would like to say this means a great deal to us. Thanks, and we can safely say that our continued support for this organization will continue. Thank you.
For the giving of your time, talents, and treasure benefiting students at the MBHS Sierra Leone. Thank you for being a foundation member and for always going the extra mile on projects of the MBHS Alumni Association of Texas, September 21st, 2019. Truly appreciate it.
This award is presented to Mr. and Mrs. Sheikh Kaikal for your philanthropic efforts, giving your time, talents, and treasure benefiting students of the Methodist Boys High School, Sierra Leone. Thank you for your dedication and love for the Methodist Boys High School.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, the bright, blessed day.
Methodist Boys High School Alumni Association Texas Philanthropy Award presented to Mrs. Florence Walcott Taylor. And going the extra mile on projects, September 21st, 2019. Truly appreciated. Mrs. Florence Walcott Taylor.
Florence, she's here.
Mr. and Mrs. Gustavus Coker, for the giving of your time, talents, and treasure benefiting students at the Methodist Boys High School, Sierra Leone. Thank you for being a foundation member for the Methodist Boys High School Alumni Association of Texas.
Thank you for the award today. I appreciate it.
Methodist Boys High School Alumni Association Texas Philanthropy Award in recognition of Miss Lina Harris for your philanthropic efforts, giving your time and treasure benefiting students at the MBHS Sierra Leone. Thank you for your love and commitment of the MBHS Sierra Leone. September 21st, 2019. Truly.
Very much for this award, and I will continue the question to person
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Dr. and Mrs. Davis for giving the consent to the student prizes. And we hope God's blessing both of you.
Taylor Kamara. Mr. Ahmed and Mrs. Taylor Kamara, you are having this award for giving of your time, talents, and treasures benefiting students at the MBHS Sierra Leone. We thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All I want somebody to remember me is what I've done to change somebody's life in this world. Thank for support, may God help you. Together we shall continue to rebuild.
Mr. Anthony Munda Cooper. Mr. Cooper, this award goes to you for your philanthropic efforts to improve the learning conditions, giving your time, talents, and treasures benefiting students at the MBHS Sierra Leone.
Thank you all for coming, and I'm asking you guys to please continue to support this school. As the president was saying earlier, we need your support. And I thank you all for coming. Thank you.
The next award goes to Pastor and Mrs. Idris Moray. Pastor Murray and Mrs. Murray, you are having this award because of your giving of your time, talents, and treasures benefiting students at the MBHS Sierra Leone. Thank you, and please continue.
Especially the Methodist Boys High School Association, Houston, Texas. Actually, this award, I'm giving it to my wife, being that she is not from Sierra Leone, and we all know we work hard here to take care of ourselves. But out of the limited resources, we have a lot of challenges. In Africa, we have a project, Gift of Mercy Foundation. We take care of 175 children in Africa that are amputated, don't have education, don't have a place to sleep. And she worked hard. With her limited resources, we come together to help these children to have a better life. So my lovely wife, I dedicate this wonderful award to you. Thank you for your support.
Mr. and Mrs. Sori Tijan. Mrs. Sori Tijan, we thank you very much. You're having this award for the time, talent, and treasures that you're giving benefiting students at the MBHS Sierra Leone. Thank you, and please continue.
My beautiful wife, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the MBHS and also those that are nominated us. But I'm going to dedicate this award to my beautiful wife. We formed an organization 3 years ago to make differences in lives that are desperately in need, both in the US and Sierra Leone. And today, we are building a school in Mbhs for children. In fact, not even in an institution in Bhutan for students that cannot afford to go to university. We have scholarship for students in Mbhs today and in Freetown. But with your support that you are giving to us, this award also is dedicated to all of you. Where are my Dallas members? They are all over there. This is for all of you. Thank you.
This award is going to Mr. Daniel McCarthy and partner. Mr. Daniel McCarthy, this award is going to you for your philanthropic efforts, giving your time, talents, treasure, and leadership benefiting students at the MBHS Sierra Leone. We thank you very much.
I'm honored and humbled with how you mean it. You learn from the best. Also thanks to our president and to the rest of the alumni. There's no more satisfaction for me in this world than doing something to touch the lives of other people. And, we started this, like my brother just said, 3 years ago. I was there, we were there since the onset. The job just gets started. We're going to see this all the way through. Thank you very much to every one of you that are here tonight. On behalf of myself, my family who are not here tonight, for reasons you all can ask the American government. Thank you once more again. God bless you. Keep supporting us, and we'll keep doing what we're doing.
Well, seems like this is about the last award for tonight. And this philanthropic award goes to Mr. and Mrs. Santik Ibumbuya.
Ms. Nowhere, can you please come on?
You have all the time.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you.
So I guess Mr. Santigi Dumbuya and Mrs. Santigi Dumbuya, congratulations being the last recipient. You are having this award for your talents, treasure, and leadership that you are giving, benefiting students at the MBHS Sierra Leone. Please continue. We thank you all very much.
Grateful I am in receiving this award for all that we do to improve the lives of those that came after us at the MBHS. It was a privilege to be an alumnus of this great school. And with what I've achieved over the years, I feel humbled to serve this association as its treasurer. And we see every day how the resources you help us generate benefit the lives of the students. But of course, I can't do that all by myself. And I'm so thankful to this wonderful lady who has given me all the support over the years to accomplish my responsibility. Once again, thank you very much for the support you've been giving to the MBHS, and we can't thank you enough, and we look forward to receiving more in the future. God bless you.
Trust me, we are. I would like to present the President of Texas, Mr. David Kasebe, to give us update of
We were not born with them. Yeah, we hear love say one day we will make them. We were not born with money. Let's opportunity. Still we want it somebody. In nice
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, and I know we've been sitting for too long. I put together a paragraph or two for you, all of us to take home, titled "A Clarion Call to Rebuild the Methodist Boys High School." And if you have your magazine, I believe it's on page 5. I am not going to go through it. I believe we all want to dance, but I will paraphrase from his point that tonight, and I'm taking this from a renowned writer, wonderful lady. I've been following her writing, Dr. Trout, and here is what she says about people who are planning on doing or have the intention of doing wonderful things, but somehow along the way they fail to accomplish that goal. So what I want all of us, both alumni and friends of the Methodist Boys High School, to take home this morning is that tonight we are all going to make a redetermination that we are going to put into action. We are going to apply, we are going to live what we know to be true. Would you mind say this with me? That tonight we are going to put into, can we? Is that okay? We are going to put into action. We are going to apply to live what we know to be true. Thank you very much. And that's all I want us to take home from the few paragraphs that I've put together. But I also just want to encourage you that as we enter the fall season, continue to give, continue to seek the Lord,
about how he might use you in communicating his love for our MBHS, for your neighborhood, the city, the world. Opportunities awaits us as never before. Laboramos expectantes. Thank you very much. And now, I'll take this opportunity to bring to the stage I'll take this opportunity to bring to the stage the cute ladies. You see them, you see tastefulness, you see them, you see pageantry, and you see them, you see glamour. The only high school in Sierra Leone, and that is the Methodist Boys High School. And of course, if you attend the girls' high school, you are counted as well. Without much ado, Mr. Ahmed Taylor Kamara, the Reverend Jemmy Manley, Mr. Patrick Jamiru, Anthony Mondekupa, Mr. Wilfred Kwesi Wood, those who know him well call him Faye, Mr. Daniel McCarthy, Mr. Reginald Thompson, Mr. Josephus Davis, Mr. Gustavus Coker, Mr. Sheikh Kaikai, Pastor Idris More, Mr. Moses Houghton, Mr. Eugene Banky Allen, Mr. Santiki Dubuya, can you come over here for a few seconds? Mr. Santiki Dubuya. Mr. Shekai, please.
When you know, say you know I'm done. You like by me, you want fast like a bantam. You shake your head to me some, but you know dancing.
Mr. Soriti Jan.
You say you love me, but I'm a bad guy. Yeah, they call me the Panama, but I lie. I don't talk to me,
President Emil Nylander, the president of our Parents Association, he flew direct from Sierra Leone just to be here. Thank you, sir. I have all the boys here. We do have all the boys. Ladies and gentlemen, these are Nadem Mania make, that's what you do, for years and years. The girl they still they call it. You see when that girl they pull that picture, just follow and see the boys. Ladies and gentlemen, the Methodist Boys High School alumni.
Yes, sir.
Laboramos expectantes, pass the motto round, boys, and to it be true. Long may be the tilling and the sowing late, but the fruit will ripen if we toil and wait. Pass the motto round, boys, and to it be true. Laboramos expectantes.
Now then they rush us. Fine, mama, them like we. Now then they rush us. All they slay, mama, slay queens. Now then they rush us. One day we the jeep and the sports car. Now then they rush us. We the eat chickens like keke. They still they rush us. My own team no left for win. Now them fancy we rush them. So my own team been done die long time. But them fancy we rush them. Maybe them they went and go for we. And they suck a lick and go orange. But they go like king and go